everybody. Welcome. I am Sandy Reese, and we are doing something a little new and different here. Okay, our fundraising tip of the week this week is about some fundraising ideas that don't really work. We have a whole blog post about that and about just different things that new nonprofits try and young nonprofits try, and then we watch them struggle with that. And so the one that I really want to pull out and focus on today is what we call sole source funding. Sole source funding. And what that means is you're trying to fund your nonprofit on one revenue stream. Now, that could be one grant, and we see that a lot. We've had a couple of clients over the years that have come to us because they lost their grant. In both cases, they were basically living on a grant from the state. The state budget got cut a little bit, it shrunk. And so in one case, the grant shrunk, and the other case, the grant completely went away. And that organization was floundering because that grant they had been living on was $750,000. That was the problem. So they called me and they said, hey, we need to raise money. And I said, okay, what have you been doing to raise money so far? And they said, nothing. I said, okay, that's going to be a problem. And it was very difficult, and it was almost too late. Now, that organization was able to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and they put some things together, but they did have to scale back for a little while. And I don't want that for you. So, and there goes the train. It's really loud. Okay, so what you need to do is think about having what we call diversified revenue streams. And what that means is you have money that's coming in from lots of different places, so it's not all coming from one source. In the animal welfare world, we often find organizations that are trying to live off of one grant. Maybe they got it from Petco Foundation or PetSmart Charities, or maybe they're trying to fund everything on adoption fees. So for other organizations, maybe you have program service fees and you're trying to do everything just from that. And listen, it's like trying to sit on a one-legged stool. It's just not stable, and it's not going to work, and it's physically exhausting to try to do that. And it's mentally tiring as well. So make sure that you have revenue streams from lots of different places. A couple other things about that. One is when you have money coming in from lots of different sources. So let's say you have a signature event that's doing well, even if you've had to pivot it this year to a virtual event. You've got a monthly giving program. You've got major donors who are giving money. You're getting some grants. You're doing some online fundraisers. So you have money coming in from lots of different places. That's actually much more stable for your organization, because if one of those goes away, it's okay. You've got other things going on, and you're going to be able to handle that very easily. So that's the good news. The other thing is, if you are applying for grants and you have not put diversified funding streams in place, the foundation that you're applying to may look at your organization and think, this is not very stable. I don't know that we want to give money to an organization that is not set up for success long term. So that's another thing to think about, is the way your budget looks when your revenue all comes from one place. It may get you kicked out of the running for some grants. I know for a fact in the animal welfare world, because we've had people tell us that they don't really like giving money to nonprofits that only have one source of income. They just don't feel comfortable for that. All right, so make sure you've got money coming in from lots of different sources, and you don't really want any one revenue stream being more than about 20% of the total revenue. So if you were to take all the money that's coming into your organization, you put it into a pie chart, you're going to be able to see really quickly if you have one piece of the pie that's way too big. If you have one piece that's bigger than about 20%, you may want to have a look at it. Unless we have a brand new client that has this situation. A big chunk of their overall giving comes from their monthly giving efforts. So 40% or so of their total revenue comes from monthly giving. Now, the nice thing about that is, even though it's 40% from one stream, that one stream is made up of dozens, if not hundreds, of individual donors. So if just one of those monthly givers goes away, it's okay. That organization is not going to struggle. They're probably not going to have to cut back programs. They're probably not going to have to close their doors because they lost one monthly donor. So that's the exception to that rule. So I'm going to encourage you to go back and look at your revenue. Where does it come from? Do you have sole source funding? Are you trying to live on one source of revenue, or do you have nice diversified revenue streams? You can go check that out, put it into Excel, build yourself a pie chart, have a look at it, and just check it out for yourself. Now, here's the thing. If you do see that you have one grant that's more than 20 or 30% of your revenue, or maybe one event that's more than that, don't necessarily think about decreasing that. Work on increasing the other pieces of the pie. When you increase the other pieces, it actually makes that one piece a little smaller, and that'll work for you. Okay. If you have, again, if you have other questions about that, you can go check out our blog post about 5 fundraising ideas for nonprofits that don't work. You'll find that at getfullyfunded.com/blog. All right, that is it for now. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.